It is July 15, 2016. Yesterday, July 14, happened this horrid event in Nice. 84 dead. I would imagine that from the types of injuries that are being hospitalized, the final death count will likely top 100. But you know, given the total holistic context of these times as we hurtle towards the crisis, these end times, as horrid and as horrific as that event in Nice was, it was just another day in the life. I may or may not pick up on a vid over the next day or two on that event. This vid, quickie, hopefully, I would like to focus on another event that occurred today. And that was the announcement by the Trump camp of his selection for vice president. Some guy named Mike Pence easy enough for me to say on this side of the 49th. But what's surprising is the number of Americans who are going likewise. Since the day that Donald Trump announced his candidacy, I have been of the opinion that his one and only mission with this candidacy is to sabotage, is to deep six the grand old party. And he's been doing a fairly good job. And I think he may have just driven in the final nail of this coffin with this selection of Mr. Pence. There is some chatter going on in Twitter that supposedly he was freaking out last night, wanting to change his mind. Can he get out of it? And again, supposedly and legally, he may be able to get out of it at the convention. But what I would like to draw your attention to is that the Trump camp may have gone to school on last year's Canadian federal election, when, at a point several weeks prior to the actual election, which was October 19th, I believe, mid-October, the two major parties, Liberals and Conservatives, were running neck and neck. And everyone, the politicians themselves, the pundits, companies that were running polls, everyone had settled into a conviction that it was a toss-up as to which party was going to win the election, but whichever one did would be straddled with a minority government. And what did Stephen Harper do several weeks prior to the election, he very publicly sought out the endorsement of this guy. The late Rob Ford, a man of the people, also a crack addict. His reputation was continent-wide. Whatever he may or may not have been as a man, the media had painted him as a buffoon. And from that point forward, the several weeks leading into the election, the Conservatives just tanked and tanked and tanked and tanked. Because, well, I don't know about because, I am of the opinion that the Conservatives / Stephen Harper threw the election, and that is what did it. Optics, optics, optics. How to fuck with this? This morning, there was news that Newt Gingrich was tossing a Hail Mary pass with comments on the events in Nice and how Muslims should have to pass a test in the United States. Any that believed in Sharia law should be exported. All to no avail. Mr. Trump made his decision. Mr. Trump may as well have chosen as his running mate Vince McMahon, I mean his former partner at the WWF. His demographic would have loved it. So, Mr. Trump not being a stupid man, he has deep sixed, as is his agenda. Furthermore, the GOP. And he can even top this by backing out of this decision at the convention, which would make the optics even worse if he dropped this guy. So, he has willingly, consciously stuck himself into a double bind. And the great unwashed, who observe surface phenomena, white nationalists who have been leg humping Mr. Trump's campaign, it can't be saved, it can't be fixed. Hillary Clinton will be the next president of the United States of America. And then, sweethearts, we all get to hang on, because we're in for some fireworks. These are our times.